Greetings, one and all, wherever you are in the universe, and welcome to the latest episode of an Expresso Shot of Confidence, the podcast that talks about confidence from all different angles, challenges taboos and unhelpful narratives, and empowers you to be awesome, loudly and proudly. And today, what better topic to talk about than comparisons? Yes, that thing that Teddy Roosevelt described as the thief of joy, but the thing that as humans we're hardwired to do. It's in our DNA to compare ourselves to the people around us. We do it from the moment we're born. The way we look, our height, our hair, our eyes. We're constantly comparing. We compare our accents. We compare our fashion senses. We compare everything. And a lot of the time, we don't even realize we're doing it. Because ultimately, a lot of our tribal ancestry is still hard-coded into us. We don't want to stand out for the wrong reasons. We don't want to get left outside of the group, left to fend for ourselves against all the nasty, horrible stuff that's out there in the world. And yes, while the saber-toothed tigers may not be there trying to eat us now, being cancelled, being vilified, being ridiculed, being trolled, and being perceived to be less successful than your peers is scary. It doesn't feel good. It's threatening. It's certainly threatening to the ego, it's potentially threatening to your livelihood, and it certainly is a threat to your dreams. Especially when we go on social media. We see the human highlight reels out there. When we scroll onto LinkedIn, Insta, Facebook, TikTok, whatever your poison is there, and you are surrounded by people that are successful. They're making money, literally thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars before they've even got out of bed, had breakfast, and gone for the first spin around the block in their brand new Lambo. We see so many people constantly working, constantly hustling, and we feel like we're not doing enough. We hear about how this business has just got even more clients without barely doing any work. They've been sat in a hammock for the last year with any Wi-Fi, but they're still raking in that money. And then there's you. You're there with your business that you keep on telling yourself is too small, isn't a big enough brand, isn't that successful yet. And while, yeah, there may be, and there is more opportunities for success for you and ways that you can grow your business in many different ways. The moment you start comparing yourself to other people is the moment you get out of your lane and you start doing actions that maybe are not aligned at all with what it is you're actually wanting to achieve. Let me share a story about my journey with all of this. So I've been posting on social media for a long time. I'm very active on LinkedIn. Not so active anymore on the other platforms. It just got too much. Just took too much bandwidth and I was tired. I was hearing about all these successful businesses that are just everywhere. You've got to be everywhere. I don't want to be everywhere. But because I was comparing myself to all of these businesses that were successful, that were really getting traction, or at least this is what I thought they were, but they were certainly giving the impression that they were getting lots of traction. I immediately compared myself to them. Now, here is why that's a problem. Because this particular business probably has a team of people doing those actions for them. Whereas I am a business of one. I am just about to go and hire myself a VA because my calendar management just really has sucked recently. So I'm going to let a VA take care of that so I don't overstretch myself. But I listened to what these people were saying. I listened to what they were saying and watched what they were doing and felt that I had to do exactly the same if I was ever going to have a successful business. So I went on all the platforms. I posted. I was literally living online. And the result of that, yes, I got visibility. Did I get the sort of visibility that they've got? No. Did I get exhausted and burnt out? Yes, very bloody quickly. Because ultimately, I wasn't following a path that was aligned with where I wanted to go, with who I wanted to help. I didn't set up this business to become an influencer. I didn't set up this business to win a popularity contest. I set up this business to make an impact on the people that I work with, to give them the tools for them to go and make an impact on the people that they work with, live with, inspire, to help people have a voice, to empower people to question their doubts and fears and their limiting beliefs. And here I was, following a strategy to become a megastar. It was just incongruent. And eventually I stepped away. I stepped away from that path. The comparison almost caused my business to fail because I felt like I wasn't achieving. I wasn't good enough. And you see this play out time and time and time again when business owners go, well, I'm too small to have a brand. You're a business. By virtue of the fact that you have opened up a business, you have a brand. The fact that you are showing up online is a form of branding. A branding ultimately is how people associate or see or what they think of when they see you, when they hear your business name, when they look at your services, when they land on your website. This is all branding. It's not just a logo. So there's no one business in the world that is too small for a brand. But what those individuals were doing was they were comparing themselves to the Nikes, to the Amazons, to the Metas of this world. These successful businesses. In the case of a lot of those businesses, the branding was already in place. The name, initial logos, that was there when they were starting up because it acts as an anchor, something that people immediately can focus on when they see a business. They're like, okay, have you heard of this business? My name now, my face, my image, my voice is part of my branding because I use video. I use podcasting. That is all part of my brand. Now, if I was too busy comparing myself to all these successful podcasters, successful video marketers, I wouldn't get started because it would just feel so inadequate, so pointless. Because, well, look at this guy over here. He gets millions of likes and all he's doing is talking about, oh, wow, have you just seen this donut I bought? Wow, look at this. Look at the glazing. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it? You know, life-affirming stuff. And here I am attempting to really lay a foundation, and I'm lucky if I get 10, 20, 30, 40 likes. But here is the thing again. You can see that smaller number of likes, comments, engagements as failure, or you can look at it, or you can actually look at the reality. And the reality is that's 30 or 40 or 50 people that have shown an interest in what you have to say. Now imagine you had all those people in a room with you. Wow. I would absolutely love to have 50 business owners in a room that was engaged and willing to listen to what I had to say. I'd be over the moon with that. I'd be over the moon with 10. But yet, when you start comparing and you use those vanity metrics on social media, You start looking at things and thinking, oh, wow, look at this person. They got thousands of likes and I've only got 10. When you do that, you're voting against your accomplishments. You're voting against your business. So when it comes to comparisons, it is so, 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 so important to stay in your lane. Yes, have a role model. Yes, look and see what the other people out there are doing. Are there ways that you can utilize those skills? Are there lessons that you can learn from them? And then take that and stay on your path. How does that stuff help you? And realistically as well, if you've just started posting content online or started doing videos or only just started your business and you're comparing yourself to McDonald's, you're comparing yourself to Gary Vee, Stephen Bartlett, it's a completely unfair comparison. Completely unfair. So let me tell you a little bit about my story when I first started posting. So posting online for me was very triggering. Very triggering. Because I had to battle past my fear of rejection. I had to battle past my fear of not being seen and heard. So every time I put this post out into the world, and there's a lot of noise there, and there's a lot of successful people that just seem to be able to have success with their eyes closed. Every time I posted, it just made me feel so cringy because I wasn't getting any sort of traction. Or at least this is what I was telling myself. And then I started recording videos. And I found that this was a really great way for me to bring out my personality. Now, the first video kind of sucked. I mean, it was 9 minutes of waffle. It wasn't very good. But it was the first one. And it laid the foundation and it started momentum. And with each video that I put out there, each video that I did, I found a different way to present my ideas. And over time, I just got to the point where I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to say this, or I'm just going to dance, or I'm going to sing, or I'm going to satirize this. I'm going to create characters. I got curious. I got creative. I got playful. All of these things that I consider massive strengths of mine. And all of a sudden, I was enjoying the creation because I wasn't thinking about, okay, do I need to say this because that's what's trending at the moment? Or I need to use these filters because that's what's going viral on TikTok. I wasn't thinking about any of that. What I was thinking about was how can I best get my message across to the people that I want to speak with? What do they need to hear? What way do they need to hear it? And what's the result for them when they do hear it? And that enabled me to harness my messages. And over time, people started commenting and saying, Ashley, wow, your videos are awesome. Absolutely love it. Amazing videos that you're so confident on camera. How do you do that? It's amazing. But I could never do that. No, I'm not confident enough to be on video. No, I'm not singing and dancing on video. No way. That's not happening. And I realized in that moment that A, I'd made a lot of progress. And I'll come back to that in a minute. And B, the more times I heard, I can't do this from people, I realized I can actually help people do that. to change this narrative, to stop comparing themselves to all the influencers and successful people out in social media land, and actually make a difference for them, because these are awesome people. They have awesome businesses that can make a huge difference, but they were too afraid to share that message because they felt like no one would care, no one would listen, no one would see them. They'd only get one like. They may get trolled. So there's a lot of limiting thoughts there. And it all stemmed from comparisons to what they were seeing in the highlight reels of the internet world. And that kept them stuck. And most importantly, it stopped them from reaching the people that they wanted to reach. Because the content, the videos, is just a great way to build rapport with individuals. And the more times that you put this message out, and the more times you show your face, the more times you speak, as if you're directly addressing somebody, the more familiarity you get, the higher levels of trust you build with your audience. And that enables the videos to do the heavy lifting for you in your business. It's almost like the initial part of a sales call. You're already addressing the objections. You're already addressing the problem and the pain points of your audience and presenting solutions. And you're all doing it in your unique way. And the value and the equity that you build in that is massive. No, I know for me, when I have sales calls, people always say, I already feel like I know you. And that connection just makes the whole process so much smoother when you do get on a sales call. So something to bear in mind next time you're thinking, well, I don't have a budget. I don't have a Hollywood budget to do videos. You don't need one. Stop comparing yourself to a guy online that's got a full goddamn videography department behind him. You don't need that. Nobody cares about all those bells and bloody whistles. And plus, if you do go down that route, you end up looking exactly the same as them, you know? I can't even remember the guy now. Some influencer there with his big flashy bloody captions that just give people headaches. But oh my God, yeah, that's how you go viral, isn't it? No, it's not. It's really not. You're thinking you have to do something based on something you saw without actually asking, okay, does this help enhance my message? That is the question you should always be asking. Does this action enhance my message? Does this edit enhance my message? Does it make it clearer? Or does it just fucking distract people? Think about those things instead of thinking, well, I've got to look like this guy. This guy's got millions and millions of likes on his videos. Do you even want millions and millions of bloody likes on your videos? Do you have the bandwidth to deal with that amount of spotlight? Do you really want that much exposure? Does that help you in your business? Can you help millions and millions of people? Is that what you set up to do? Think about those things and then take the actions that are most likely to get you to where you need to be. And just coming back to the videos. So I was saying, I do more and more videos. When I started, the first few sucked, but then I found my groove. And this leads very nicely into today's Expresso shot of confidence. And that is, if you must compare, do this. Compare you now with who you were yesterday, a week ago, a year ago, 10 years ago. So say, for example, you've just started recording videos. You did one, it was a cringe fest, but you posted the thing. Do not delete it. Leave that video out there. Use it as a milestone. And then 1 week from now, 1 month from now, 6 months from now, when you've recorded a load more videos, go back and watch that first one and ask yourself, what am I doing better now? What have I learned since that one? Do I feel more comfortable on camera now? Have I got more than the one like I got, thanks mom, on that first video? Is my message resonating with people? And when you look back and you compare yourself with who you were, I guarantee you there will be improvement. It might be 1%, it might be 20%, it might be 50%. But there will be improvement. There will be things that you've learned along the way, things that you've realized are not for you, things that you've realized, right, I need to really go after that and really dial this one in because it feels good. You may see that your message is really resonating. I guarantee you would have made improvements. And you won't see it when you're in the trenches. You won't see it because it might not feel like you're making progress unless you've got somebody there, a coach or accountability partner or friend or family member, whatever, who is giving you that feedback, or you're specifically going out there and asking for that feedback. You might not notice you're making progress. And that is why comparing yourself with who you were will highlight the fact that you are. Because when you take repeated actions, it is inevitable that you will build momentum. It's inevitable that you will grow in some way. And what is possible then? So on that note, another short and sweet episode. So wherever you're watching or listening this, don't forget to subscribe. So then you'll know when the next episodes drop. Bit busy in the coming weeks, so that might be next week, it might be the week after, it might be a few after that. But I guarantee you there will be more episodes. But there's now 72 episodes live, so if you want to hear my dulcet tones or see my schoolboy good looks, go and have a look at the library out there. There is bound to be something there to inspire. And on that note, let's ride off into the sunset. And you awesome people, don't forget to be awesome.